Hi guys, welcome to today's Sunday school lesson. Today's topic is going to be all about friendship, which is our theme of the month for May in our church. I'm excited to be able to talk about this with you all. We're going to be reading our story in 1 Samuel chapter 18, verses 1 through 4. So if you want to follow along, that's where we're going to be reading today. And then we're going to do a project with a piece of paper. You can use colored paper, you can use white paper. We're going to need a pencil and scissors. And then afterwards, I am going to give you all, this is for all classes, a Bible verse to try to memorize so that when we all get back together, you all can come and tell me, and I'm going to give whoever memorizes that verse, actually it's going to be 2 verses, but they're very short. Anyways, you guys are going to do great. I'm going to give whoever memorizes those verses an extra piece of candy or reward or whatever I'm giving out that day. So I'm going to give you guys the location of that verse at the very end of our lesson. We're going to go ahead and get started with our story, which again is found in 1 Samuel chapter 18, and we're going to be reading verses 1 through 4. After David had finished talking with Saul, Jonathan became one in spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. From that day, Saul kept David with him and did not let him return to his father's house. And Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself. Jonathan took off the robe he was wearing and gave it to David, along with his tunic and even his sword, his bow, and his belt. So over here we see the friendship between David and Jonathan. We see how David and Jonathan had one spirit, how they loved each other, how Jonathan had even given David the clothes off of his body. He had given him his sword, which he used to protect himself. So we see that Jonathan is loving David so much as he loved himself that he's saying, David, I want you to protect yourself too. Or David, I want you to be warm, which is a great example of how we should be as friends. Loving and kind and caring, right? Those are some good examples. Maybe you guys can think of some good examples of being a friend too and tell me about it when we all see each other. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our project. I'm going to show you the final result of the project and how to follow along step by step with me. This is what we're going to be making. It's a group of friends, and I'm going to tell you guys what you guys can do with it maybe afterwards if you want to. So go ahead and take your piece of paper, and what you're going to do, you're going to fold it in a fan-like way. So you're going to take a piece and you're going to fold down one way. So you see how that's folded down? And then you're going to take it and fold it the opposite way, like that. See that? Mine's a little bit crooked because I'm not doing it on a hard surface. But if you guys did it on a table, it'd be more straight. And then you do it straight again like that. And the last one, like that. So when you open it up, it's like a fan. See that? Okay, so now that you've got your fan, you are going to take the paper on one side, one of the ends. So you see I just used that end. And you're going to make a circle. And then that's going to be the head, and you're going to make the neck. Just 2 lines. And then 2 hands, and connect them. It's basically just a bunch of lines in one circle. And then you're going to make another long line for the body, like that. And then legs. It's going to be like this. And then you're going to take your man or woman and you're just going to cut along. So you don't open your paper. You just leave it like that and you cut where the legs are. Then you're going to cut outside the lines. So you see, like I cut it. Okay, so you're just going to finish cutting out in between the lines. Just like that. Did you guys think of any other ways that you can be a good friend? Like David or with Jonathan? David and Jonathan were together. But in that story, it was showing how Jonathan was giving more to David. I think sharing is a good way to be a friend, right? Okay, so when you open it, that's what it looks like. bunch of friends. And so what I'm going to do, you guys can make a lot of them, and you guys can staple them together and make a circle of friends. You can do whatever you want with them. You can color them. You can write names on the people. So I'm going to write my friends' names or my family's names, and I'm going to hang it by my bed. So at nighttime when I say my prayers, I can remember to pray about them. I think that's a great idea. I hope you guys can show me how you did yours. Maybe bring them back to church when we all go back. Okay. So now I'm going to give you guys the verse that you're all going to try to memorize and tell me, and maybe earn a piece of candy, extra piece of candy. So it's found in John chapter 15, verses 12 and 13. So again, John 15, verses 12 and 13. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. So we see that Jonathan was laying down his life for his friend David in a way when he was giving him his sword to protect himself, like Jonathan would have protected himself, but he was giving it to David. Can anyone think of another way that somebody has given their lives for us? Jesus gave his life for us when he died on the cross. That was how he showed his love for us. Anyways, I hope you guys can think of some ways that you can be a good friend and how you can love one another. And I hope you're all doing really, really good, and I love and miss you all. Bye!